Hey guys, how are you? Just waiting for a few more folks to jump on real quick. This is the first time I've done this via Zoom in a while, so I wanted to go ahead and pop on and try to get things set up so I could share from both my phone and my laptop here, so bear with me. We have another setup. We have a dual camera setup, and I've been kind of chicken to get it set up. So we're going to kind of work on that this weekend, hopefully, and get that ready to go. So in the future, it'll be a lot easier and I can have two camera angles so you guys will be able to see exactly what's going on. Make it a little bit better. So I am going to go ahead and close out this screen and we're going to get started. Awesome, awesome. I may have to have you come in and I don't remember the permissions. Yeah. You just have to click on it. I don't have anybody yet, but I'll see. Nope. And join. No. Okay. It gave me a different meaning. Oh, it's going to my old profile. That's wild. That's wild. That's very strange. That's the sucky thing about having two Facebook profiles and one you can't access anymore. So bear with me here. Let me go to me. Come on. Have anybody coming in yet? So we're all right. Other one. That's a different meeting ID. No. No. Oh, yeah, you'll have to. Bugger. Okay, so let me try this. Okay, let me get our meeting ID. Alrighty, oh 3 1 6 3 503 163 5864. For some reason, it kicked me off on my phone, guys. So bear with me. Join. Alrighty. So take out the audio and we're in business. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't have when you hear that ding ding ding, that little doorbell, that'll be if somebody's here. So you may have to, because I don't think I can do it from here. So all you have to do is click on it because it'll show up right over here. Bear with us, guys. Nobody's here. See where the names are right there on the corner on the side.
Yeah.
It's going to show up right there, and it's going to give a little admit button.
There.
You can't do it from in there because it's only the host. I don't know how to change it. So I mean, if it pops up, then cool. If it doesn't, then you'll have to probably cry. Sorry.
Oh, all right.
All right, guys, a little technical difficulty this evening. I've got 3 absolutely fantastic recipes for you that I wanted to do tonight. I couldn't decide on just 2, so I added a little bonus, but it's going to be really yummy and quick and easy. And these are some recipes that you can make that you don't have to heat up the kitchen this summer. Okay, it's so very simple. We're going to make some pressure cooker red potato salad. We're going to do a 7-layer dip, which we do it a little bit differently because we kind of whole food plant basic kind of thing. So it's mostly whole food plant based. Couldn't find any whole food plant based, sour cream. So we had to do regular calcium sour cream. But that's okay. And that's the great thing about these. You can change them up and make them yours. It doesn't matter. You can change things to your taste, to what you and your family like. And that's what it's all about. But keep it simple, keep it easy, and you don't have to heat up the kitchen, and you can get out there and you can enjoy time with your family doing the things that you love. All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the potatoes first. I'm going to do these in the multi-cooker. So it's going to take literally just minutes once it comes up to pressure. So we're going to get those going, and then we will go ahead and start on our 7-layer dip. And then I'll surprise you with the other recipe. I wanted to show you this too. You guys, you recognize these. These are our pan protectors or cookware protectors, okay? They come in a set and you put them in between your cookware. If you store your cookware in a cabinet and you stack them, it keeps them from getting scratched. Wow, they're perfect for glass bowls. So if you have a set of glass mixing bowls like ours, or even a different set, it doesn't matter. You can layer those right in your bowls. And then when you nest those together, it keeps them from scratching and possibly breaking. All right, so easy peasy. I just had to show you that. I love hacks and tips and tricks. They're awesome. All right, so I have some red potatoes. I'm going to cut them into some bite-sized pieces. And we're going to cook those in the multi-cooker. And I'm going to use the strainer baskets, okay, the steamer baskets. There's a set of 2. So there's 2 different sizes, and these are great because in the multi-cooker, you can actually cook your main on the bottom. You can steam your main on the bottom, and you can steam veggies on top, or you can do multiple veggies or potatoes or whatever you want to do, and all in one pot. It makes it easy because then you get all those amazing flavor from your protein into your veggies as well. So I'm going to use the larger of the 2 baskets. I got my hand full. There we go. I'm taking the little one out. I'm going to put about a cup of water. You don't need a whole lot, just about a cup of water in the bottom. There we go. So I'm going to set my basket down in there. And then as I cut my potatoes, they've already been cleaned and washed. As I cut them off, I'm just going to pop them right in there. And we want to cut these into bite-sized pieces. These larger ones, I'm going to cut them into quarters, I think. Now, it's not going to take very long to cook because we are cutting these up into bite-sized pieces. That's the great thing about the multi-cooker. And you don't have to put a pot of water on the stove. You don't have to heat up the kitchen with boiling water. It's awesome. And your hands are free to do other things. So while these are steaming off in the multi-cooker, you can go and you can do other things. You can take care of the rest of your meal. You can, if your kids are doing summer school, you can help them with their homework. Or if you have, just want to kick back and relax, maybe a hard day at work and you really don't feel like hanging out in the kitchen too long. So go get yourself comfortable, relax, and then come back and when you come in, your potatoes are cooked. So very simple. I'll put these in there. And I always drop one. Yeah, always. Never fails. Trust me. This is a real kitchen. We do real things here. So I usually, when I'm doing a demo, I almost always knock something over. Drop something. I forget to add something to the recipe. So it's real life. Everything we do here is all real life. These smaller ones, I'm just gonna cut into quarters, and that's gonna be fine. Now, you can use whatever kind of potatoes you want. Doesn't matter. This recipe just happens to call for red potatoes. If you don't have red potatoes, use white potatoes. Use yellow potatoes. This would be really good with the fingerling potatoes. Those would be yummy. And kind of a buttery, kind of really soft, fluffy texture to those. That would be amazing. Now we're just going to put this on steam setting. And we are going to set it for a whopping 5 minutes. Now it's going to take a little bit of time to come up to temp. And once it does, it's just going to take 5 minutes and it's going to be done. Some recipes with the multi-cooker, if you don't have our multi-cooker, some recipes do ask that you leave it and to come to temp on it or release the pressure on its own. Because it can release naturally. A lot of times beans and legumes you want to do that with, because that way they cook fully. So the cooking time isn't done at the end of the cooking time. It's still continuing to cook as you do the natural release time. All right, so I'm just going to pop these right in our multi-cooker. I don't know if I can get it over here any farther. The cords on these are not very long, and that's for a safety reason, because you don't want this cord to hang off the edge of the cabinet and have somebody walk by, drag it off, get it caught, what have you, and really cause an injury. So it's one of the safety features of the product that I really love. All right, so we're gonna lock the lid, and we're gonna turn the dial to steam. Now automatically set for 15 minutes. We don't need 15 minutes, so we're gonna press it one time. Then we're gonna dial backwards to 5 minutes. We're gonna press and hold, and it's gonna start. And there we go. So that's doing its thing. I'm gonna put the bowl back over here, so we're gonna use that again very shortly. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with 7-layer dip. It's so very yummy. This is one of my favorites, and I actually like this as a lunch. So sometimes what we'll do is I'll add some textured veggie protein, because hubby and I are whole food plant-based. So I'll cook up some textured veggie protein and season it kind of with my own homemade taco seasoning and pop that in there. So it's really more of a meal. And I do add some greens to mine too. Now you don't have to. Traditionally, a 7-layer salad, there's gazillion recipes for it, and some of them have lettuce, some of them don't. I actually like to use Napa cabbage. It stands up better to the salsa and it stays crisp longer. It doesn't taste too cabbagey. It's a very light cabbage. So if you're not a big fan of cabbage, try Napa cabbage, because you might find that you kind of like that one. So let's go ahead and get started on that one while our tighter salad cooks. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start by making our guacamole, and we're going to put that in our manual food processor. Now, this is great. You can take this puppy camping. You can use it out on the picnic table if you're doing barbecue. Got most of your meal prep done. You want to finish things off, you can take it right outside because there's no electricity needed. It's great. And it's lightweight. So we're going to take our avocados. And 2 very ripe avocados. And I'm going to use my avocado tool. This is so cool. It's a blade on one end and a seed remover on the other. You're like, well, what's the big deal? What's the big deal? Well, it's cute. Number one, it's cute and it's fun. And it's safer than using a knife to smack that seed and remove it, because trust me, I've done that and about cut my finger off. So we don't want to do that. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and use the serrated blade, the serrated side of the blade, and I'm going to cut all the way around. And I'm going to twist. All right. That's a huge seed. It's a good thing I bought 4 of these. That's huge. I'm going to take this end, and it's got the little prongs. I can get them right here to this camera. And you can click on my other icon there, or my other thing. You can see it. If you're doing the recording, you probably won't be able to do that. And it just comes right out. So I don't have to smack it with the sharp edge of the knife and worry about cutting myself. Now, if I was going to slice this, I would take the flat side, the non-serrated side of this blade, and I would just go right in and I would cut my slices and then go all the way around the avocado and pop them right out. I'm going to go ahead and tear this up in the manual food processor, so I'm just going to squeeze it out. That's fine. Just fold it over, squeeze out all that yummy goodness. I'm not going to worry about it because it's all going to get mashed anyway. Get that in my garbage bowl. Okay, you got some of the peel in there. I don't want the peel. And I'm going to squeeze that in there. Now, you can use your favorite guacamole. If you like store-bought guacamole, you can use that too. You can, if you have your own favorite recipe, use it. Like I said before, make it you. Do whatever you and your family like. Oh, this is really, really right. All right, and we're going to squeeze that right in there. Garbage bowl. And again, this is the difference in those pits is amazing. And that one was a smaller avocado. That's insane. Just press it on there. That's all you do, and twist. Okay, so I'm not smacking it and then cutting the jeepers out of my fingers. All right, so we have 2 avocados in there. Let's break this and wipe off my hands because they are slickery with avocado. That out the way. Now, the one thing about this avocado tool, it comes with a little blade cover, so it's perfect. It slides right on, slide it upward, so it wedges itself on the blade, and pop it right in your drawer. You don't have to worry about getting cut. You rinse this and pop it in our sink. There. Hands. And another towel. I don't. We do not. All right. So we're going to take a clove of garlic, and I'm just going to pop it right in here because we're going to tear it right up with the food processor. I like garlic. All right. Now I'm going to use our garlic peeler. Now, if I was mincing the garlic, I would use our garlic press because I could do it right through the peel, but I'm going to go ahead and just pop it in there whole. So I'm going to use our garlic peeler. Just put your garlic in, roll it back and forth a few times, and out comes a naked clove of garlic. The silicone sleeve grabs onto that paper from the garlic and pulls it right off. I'm going to trim that little root end off. I don't want that. And I'll pop that right in. I'm going to do another little one. Like I said, I like garlic. Garlic is yummy. Just roll it a few times. You can hear that skin breaking up. Pop it out. Naked clove of garlic. It's the coolest thing, y'all. It's the coolest thing. Alrighty. Okay. All right, so we're gonna put the top on. And oh, I don't have a cilantro. I don't have cilantro, so I'll have to use dry. Forgot about the cilantro. I'm not a super fan of cilantro. It's okay in small amounts, but large amounts, I can't do it. I know a lot of people, it tastes like soap, and that actually is a chemical imbalance in the brain, believe it or not. I was kind of surprised. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and help this a few times, and then I'm gonna add my lime juice. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 tablespoons of lime juice. I want to get that all over that the avocado. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, and if you use salt, you want to add your salt now. I don't put salt in it because this is going to have enough sodium with the tomatoes and everything else. So this is yummy. You can make it as smooth and creamy or as funky as you want. If you like it really funky, there you go. Easy peasy. Look at that. Yum. Oh, let me see if I can get over here this camera. You can see it. That's so yummy. Yummy, yummy. All right. So we're gonna take that, rinse that off, set aside. All right, so we're gonna take our guac, set that right there. Now, our manual food processor also does come with a lid. I just happen not to have it out right now, but you can actually do what you need to do and leave your food right in this container. The blade comes right out, and then you can actually store whatever it is right in there. So yeah, easy peasy. All right, there we go. So there's our guac. Now we're going to put our salad or our dip, or I call it salad because I eat it like a salad. It's so amazing. We're going to use our rectangle cool and serve. Now I'm going to put the inserts in here just tomorrow when I take it to work. Right now I'm just going to put it in the fridge. But you have your food container and you have your base, and in the bottom, you see this little line right here? That's where your freezer packs go. It has 2 freezer packs, so it's cut in half. You pop them in, and this will help keep your food that you put in here cold for several hours. All right, so I'm just gonna put this in here now. I'm not gonna put the freezer packs in. I want them nice and frozen tomorrow morning when I take this to work. And hear that? I don't know if you can hear the quick cooker or the multi cooker. Quick cooker. It's pressurizing. So the other thing I'm going to do too is I'm going to make a little extra for hubby for lunch tomorrow, so that he's got lunch, really yummy salad with lots of protein in it. So we're going to take our refried beans. That's going to be your first layer. Now the recipe calls for 1.5 cans of 1.5 cans of refried beans. I love refried beans. I love them. So I'm going to use 2, if not 3. So remember, this is a meal. And for us, because we are whole food plant-based, we do try to stick with things that are minimally processed. And refried beans is an exception. Normally I would make my own, but I did not have time to do that this morning. I wanted to go ahead and cook the beans in the multi-cooker this morning, but I was busy doing a cookie order and just like, oh crud. So no homemade refried beans today. It's using the canned stuff, but it's okay. It's all right. Every now and then, I don't, I can tell the difference. I can definitely tell the difference. We're gonna start with 2. That can opener, y'all, is if you do not have this can opener, you definitely want to get this can opener. This is I absolutely the bomb diggity. No sharp edges. I literally can run my finger right around the top of this can, around the edge of the can, inside the can, and does not cut my fingers. It is awesome, absolutely awesome. And it's got the little grippers. So you push this little button and you press the little grippers, and that grabs onto the lid, pop it right off. So cool. And it gets either hand. So it doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed. I've actually done it both. I'm kind of sometimes some things I'm a little ambidextrous with, others not so much. So we're going to take our refried beans and we're going to put those right in the bottom. Now, I like refried beans usually a little spicy. When I make my homemade, I usually add some of my taco seasoning, or I add some salsa just to spice it up a little bit. But because I'm serving this for other people, I'm not going to do that today. So I don't think I'm too spicy. I love them. Now these are refried, fat-free refried beans. So they're a little harder. I'm going to mash them right into the bottom of my container. I think I'm gonna have to use my spoon. They are hard. I know a lot of people don't care for refried beans, especially if they're pinto beans. But believe it or not, you can do different kinds of refried beans. You don't have to use pinto beans to make refried beans. You can make them out of black beans. They're really, really good. Refried black beans are really yummy. You can do them out of a combination, kidney beans, you name it. I'm just gonna press this a little bit just to get it all mushy. So it's gonna be our base. Spread that out a little bit. I think I may use 3 cans. It's all good. Yeah, this hard. You'd think my house was like a refrigerator. I know I could probably heat them up and it would move a little bit better. But it's that's the other reason I like making my own, because I can get them the consistency that I want. Plus the spicy factor. I do like spicy. Relax the spicy. Everybody. Yep. Puppy's whispering. Okay, so a little bit more in here. It's done. Guys, this is absolutely yummy. The other things that we're going to put on here too, like I said, you can put on here exactly what you like. If you don't like refried beans, don't use refried beans. If you want to use taco meat, make you up some taco meat, you know. Just know that after it's chilled, it's going to get a little solid and it's going to be harder to dip. So if you want to do that and maybe mix it with salsa, or mix it with some nacho cheese, if you like nacho cheese. We have a plant-based cheese that I love to make. It's really, really yummy. And while it doesn't taste exactly like nacho cheese, it's pretty darn good. So we do that every now and then. And because I have a freeze dryer, I freeze dry it. And then that way I can have it anytime without having to cook my beans. There is a method to the madness. Absolutely a method to the madness. Get that other one over. Right. We are going to use the third one. Again, I'm just going to pop that right on there. And I'm going to turn it. And you turn it until you feel the pressure change as you're turning it. So once it changes, you can tell it's gone all the way around and it just kind of loosens up just a tad. Oh, our potatoes are done. That was fast. All right, so there it went. So I'm going to turn it counterclockwise. I'm going to take the little pinchers right at the top of the can, pull it right off. Easy, speasy. So easy. All right, so we're going to go ahead and hit cancel on our multi-cooker and we're going to release the steam. One of the other features of the multi-cooker is that the steam is directed to the side. So if you're standing in front of the machine and you go to release that pressure, it's not straight up and it's not coming at you. And you don't have to reach over to release the pressure. The cancel button and the release pressure button are on the front of the machine, not on the top. I know my other pressure cooker that I used to have, the other brand, it was right on the top. And it was like, I was always scared that I was going to get burned by steam because I was reaching over the top of the unit. So here, I just hit the cancel button and then, oops, cancel. And then I hit the steam release button and then there it goes. And it goes right off to the side. Easy peasy. So we're going to let that release and we're going to pull those out. And then we're going to start up with our dressing. I'm going to let them cool so we're I can handle it. So we're finishing up here. I'm going to get hubby's lunch. And this is so good because literally all the veggies you can add. And of course, you're going to have the guacamole. And if you don't like sour cream, don't use sour cream. You can use different kinds of cheeses. You can use cotija cheese, you can use cheddar, you can do the combination of whatever you want. You can put taco meat in here. Sometimes I'll cook up lentils and season them with my taco seasoning and put those in, and it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so that's that. A little low spot there, so put those there. Again, these are fat-free. So if you're watching your fat, that's the way to go. You know, typically refried beans will be cooked with, I mean, guys, I'm from the Midwest. I'm from the Midwest. I grew up on lots of different, you know, Mexican food. And typically they're made with lard. So that's some serious fat. That's not what I want. All right, so the next thing we're going to go ahead and add, let's see. Then we're going to do the guacamole. So I'm going to go ahead and pop our guac in here. I'm going to put a little spoonful here. And then the rest of it's going to go in here. And we're going to spread it. I know some people don't care for guacamole, so I'm only going to put this on one side. And I'll make sure that I can see it on the side of the container so I can tell folks which side has guacamole. So you're taking this to a get together and you've got people you know don't like guac. This is the way to do it. So put it all the way up to the edge of that container so they can see it. And you can see it, and then you can say, that side's got guac. You don't want that. All right, there we go. Some people just don't like it. That's cool. I get it. It's all good. It's all good. There we go. There's our guac. And because we're going to cover that with sour cream, it's going to help keep it from turning brown. All right. So, and unfortunately, I couldn't find any plant-based sour cream, so I am using regular sour cream. I can get it open. Okay, so we're going to combine our sour cream with a little bit of our everything taco. So we're going to spice that up just a tad. And I need 3/4 of a cup. So the really cool thing about our 1 cup prep bowls is they have markings on the side. So you've got milliliters and you've got cups. You got 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4, and then a level top is a full cup. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 3/4 cup in here. Tamp it down a little bit so I know the right amount. I might actually do a little bit extra just on that one end where there is no guac. Okay, so that's at our 3/4 cup mark, just about. It's about halfway up from that edge to from that band, the bottom of the band to the edge of the top of the container. All right, so that's that. Oops, I gotta put something heavy. So I guess I better spread the guac a little bit more. The avocado's got fat. We know that. It's while it is a healthier fat, it's still fat. Fat is fat is fat, no matter how you look at it. It's still fat. So we're going easy on that. All right, there we go. There. And sour cream, which also has fat. It's a good thing these are fat-free refried beans, right? So we're going to spread that in there. And we're going to keep that over the top of that guac so it doesn't want to turn brown. Now, the lime juice will help that. And I find the lime juice works a little better than lemon juice. So if I use enough lime juice in my guac, typically it doesn't turn brown as quickly. So, all All right, we'll put that back in the fridge. Break the eggs. We don't eat eggs, but I use them for baking for others. And I have one lone egg hanging out in the fridge that was the last of the dozen eggs that I had to buy for cakes. All right, so now we need a tablespoon of our everything taco seasoning. And this is yummy. And I will tell you, it's really, really good on popcorn. So you can add it to your popcorn before it pops. If you do an air popper or you pop it in the microwave in our microwave popcorn popper, yeah, it's really, really yummy. So another little tip I'll give you is when you buy our spice blends and our herbs and seasonings, you want to make sure if you live in a very humid area or your house is very humid, you want to leave that seal on. Peel it back and fold it in half, put the lid on. If you want to shake your seasonings out, you can do that. Or if you want to peel it back a little farther so you can get a measuring spoon in, do that. But then when you're done, flop that back over and put your lid back on. The other thing is never take your seasonings and shake them over a simmering or boiling pot or a hot dish. You want to go ahead and, if you need to, shake it into your hand away from that and then sprinkle it. Because that moisture goes right inside and it starts to cake those up. We don't have anti-caking agents. There's no preservatives. There's no additives. These things are the real deal. So they will get hard if they have any sugar in there, like the garlic, anything. Garlic has a natural sugar in it and it gets really cakey if you're not careful. So anything with sugar anything that's naturally occurring sugar is going to solidify if you expose it to too much moisture. So keep them closed, keep them sealed. I've had somebody tell me they put little desiccant packs in there. As long as they're food safe, I guess you could. I wouldn't recommend that, but somebody, that's what they do. So we're going to go ahead and another one of our mini skinnies. I use these all the time, and a lot of mine are stained. You see, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of pink. That's because I use it for making frosting for my cookies. So, all right. So we're gonna stir this in. Oh, it smells so good. You can use our everything taco seasoning. You can use your own favorite taco seasoning, or if you have your own homemade that you prefer, you can use that too. Again, do what you like. That's the important thing. Use the ingredients that you like. And it's funny because every time I try a new recipe, I try it exactly as it's written, unless there's something I don't have. But you know what? I need to try it the way it is first before I make any judgments. And I have learned over time that I actually like things I didn't think I liked. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I actually eat onions now. I never thought I would. Yeah. Cooked, not raw, cooked. All right, so we've got that. Would make an amazing dip. All right, so we're going to spread that on. Just spread her around. Get as much even, try to get it as even as you can. So everybody's got a little of everything. I tell you what, my sissy and I love some 7-layer dip. And when my mother passed away, one of her friends brought over a 7-layer dip to the house, to her house. I was staying at her house. It never made it to my mom and dad's house. It wasn't really big. I mean, it was just a sorry, but we ate it. It was amazing. I don't even remember now who made it, but it was insanely yummy. Absolutely amazingly yummy. All right, so there is that. And all right, so now Our next one is our salsa. So you can use your favorite salsa, you can use homemade salsa, whatever your heart's desire. I'm using a commercial salsa, so organic, Jack's Cantina. And it is a little chunky, but not terrible. I'm just gonna put it on here. I'm just gonna put it on there. It's really wet. So it's gonna add a little bit more moisture than I really want, but it's all good. No touch the sour cream. No touching the sour cream. All right, so it calls for like a cup and a half. So because this is so wet, I think I'm gonna put a cup and a half on there. This is good. There we go. That's almost a cup and a half, I think. It's pretty close, but it's really, really wet. All right, there we go. All right. So there is a salsa. Put that back in the fridge. The egg, I'm going to break it yet. I'm going to break it. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add our cheese. Now I've got some plant-based cheese shreds. You can use whatever kind of cheese you like. If you like Monterey Jack, pepper jack, cheddar, whatever you want, go for it. So I'm just going to do our plant-based cheese shreds. Again, this is another thing that's a little more processed than I would like. And I do, yes, I do have some recipes to make my own plant-based cheese. Yes. And I'm dying to try it. And don't ask me why I have 2 weeks open. This is like crazy. Yeah, I have 2 things of cheese open. Nuts. But I do want to try it because I think it would be interesting, you know, to make my own. I have made a faux mozzarella that was actually melty and stretchy. It's really, really good. Okay, so you see, I forgot to put, I forgot to season it and put it on his. Oops. Oops. So here's what we do. He's in the other room. He's in here. Or he may be watching. I don't know if he's watching. Are you watching? There we go. Put his seasoning in there. I told you this is real, guys. This is totally real. And lucky I had more cheese. So he hasn't poked his head around the corner yet and given me the stinky eye. So it's all good. And literally, you can go ahead and, like I said, mix your cheeses. If you like different kinds of cheese, mix it up. Nobody says it has to be cheddar. Nobody says it has to be, you can use mozzarella. You like mozzarella? Use mozzarella. It's all good. Salsa last. Because that salsa is so really wet, I'm going to add last. Or now. I told you guys this was real. This is life. And I'm going to go ahead and just pour a little bit on here. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some tomatoes. And the recipe calls for diced tomatoes. I don't have any large tomatoes, like Romas, you know. I don't have any. So I'm going to use what I have. So we're going to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So get this. I'm going to put this over here. Oopsie. And then I'm going to cut up some of our heirloom tomatoes. These are a combination of different types of tomatoes. I'm sure you guys have probably seen them in the stores. Really good. And I'm going to use my closing cut to cut those with, and it's going to make it so easy. Some of these are really big, so I'm not going to use those. I'm going to choose some of these smaller ones. Now I'm gonna show you how this works. This is one of my favorite tools. It's great for grapes. It's good for tomatoes. I'm probably gonna end up giving these another chop anyway. When you get the closing cut, as a set, it comes with a coated chef's knife. It's not this color, it's the new color. I have the old version. And it comes with a cover, it goes on it. You put your tomatoes in or your grapes, whatever you're cutting. And you can do this with pork chops, chicken breasts, whatever you want to cut in half horizontally, safely. You don't have to worry about getting your hands, in the way of the knife blade, because you're going to go ahead and put it right in here. Both of these plates are squishy, they move. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't look like it's going to fit, you're going to be fine. So we're going to pop those in. We're going to close it. I'm going to put the knife right here in the center, right at the opening, and I'm just going to cut. Now I got tomato halves, which I'm going to cut up again anyway, but just to show you how easy it is, especially if you've got toddlers with grapes and youngsters with issues with swallowing, maybe they don't chew properly. So perfect tool, perfect tool. So I'm still going to go ahead and give these another bit of a rough shot. Ouch. Ouch. You know better. I think he hears me talking and he wants to know what I'm doing. He knows I've got food and he knows he's not allowed in here when I cook. So I'm just going to give these a little bit of a rough chop. Now I will tell you, these knives are incredibly sharp. Even though the coated knives are very lightweight. They are less expensive than our knife block set, which is amazing. But these are a great budget friendly knife and great for those who are just starting out on their own. So if you've got somebody who is, maybe been in college, they're getting their first apartment, they're still going to college, but they need to start their own apartment off campus, this is perfect. All right, so we're going to go ahead and sprinkle some of those here. Do a few more. I said that salsa is really, really wet, so I don't want to overload too much. I'm going to cut up a few for Hupster. Put on his. Okay. If you are not comfortable, your knife skills are not where you are comfortable cutting round objects, what you want to do is you want to cut them in half first or cut a piece off of one side so that you have a nice flat surface and you don't have to worry about hanging onto them as you cut them. Because like I said, these knives are sharp, these are slippery, so lots of things can happen. All right, so cut them in quarters if you want, lay them flat, and then cut them or dice them up a little bit finer. So half, quarter, and then dice. Use your claw grip so that you keep your fingertips out of the way. The big one that's doing that. So these are all different kinds of tomatoes, and I love that. I get bored with the same ones over and over, and I actually see the different colors. So the colors are amazing. Color equals nutrition, So if you've got something that's bright and colorful, you got lots of nutrients in there, I can guarantee, unless it's manufactured, artificial colors and yuck. Just because Skittles are colorful doesn't mean they're healthy. All right. Okay, that one here. All right, so I clean up my cutting board a bit. This juicy, juicy tomatoes. I'm gonna sop that up. Upside. All right, and now we're gonna work on our cabbage. And as I said, I have Napa cabbage. It is a little bit firmer than a regular cabbage in a way. It's got a different flavor. It's not, doesn't have that sharp, tart, peppery kind of bite to it. It's a sweeter cabbage, but it holds up better than lettuce. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a bit off of it here. And then I'm just gonna hold it. And I'm just gonna slice real thin ribbons. And we're gonna give those a rough chop. I'm gonna roll my cabbage around a little bit. Roll it, cut a little bit more. Like I said, this is not in the recipe, okay? This is definitely not in the recipe. This is my preference right here, because it gives me something green. I love greens. So we'll get those over here in the bowl. And we're gonna give this a rough chop. Because I don't want really huge stringy pieces. Trying to scoop them up, you know, with a chip or even with a spoon if I'm dishing this out. I don't want it to be great big huge pieces. That's like when we used to eat meat, and I love the buffalo chicken wing dip, okay? But the worst case, or the worst thing, was to be able to, somebody would make one and it would be like shreds of chicken instead of chopped and really in chip size pieces. It was long shreds and you're trying to dip it with the chip, and it was really super messy. So we've got our chopped Napa cabbage, and we're gonna put that right on top. There we go. Y'all, it looks really yummy. I just want to dive into it right now. All right, so I've got some Napa cabbage here on the hubby's lunch. There we go. And then we're going to top that with some olives. And again, I'm going to use that amazing can opener that I think I already put away. Oh, I guess I did. And we're going to open up a can of olives. Get that 3 jars of olives. I love olives. I really do. And then they're so not very healthy. Okay, just turn that until it changes the tension. And there we go. There's our olives. I'm going to take my can strainer and I'm going to go over and I'm going to strain the liquid into a bowl. Because I'm going to put it in a container and keep them in the fridge. There we go. All right. So we're going to put some of our olives on top. Go. Oops, way too many there. Okay. And now I have the rest of them go back in the juice. And I'll put a lid on that because the 1 cup prep bowls come with lids. Yay. Yay. Oh, battery saver is going in. I got to plug in my laptop, guys. Okay, so got my little lid. It's all good to go. All right, so let me plug in my laptop in just a second. I knew there was something I was forgetting earlier. There we go. All righty, we're back in business. Okay, so there is our 7-layer dip salad thing. So I'm going to pop this in the fridge. It's going to sit there overnight. And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to take the inner container out. Okay. Just put that out. I'm going to put the freezer packs in the bottom and I'll put that back on top, put the lid on and take it to work. Travel, no problem. There we go. Told you I knocked things over. All right, and there we go. And you can see where the guacamole is on this end. So people who don't like guac can have it off of that end. Set this over here. Get these in the fridge. Oops, I didn't get that on square. Okay, this glass storage containers are amazing. And I'm telling you what, these lids are snug. They are not going to leak. They are leak-proof containers, and they're awesome. They come in a set of 3. So 3 different sizes. Get that one. I have to make room for the big one. All right, let me get a little bit of this cleaned up so we can get moving on with our potato salad. I love potato salad. I don't know about you. Love potato salad. All right. I told you I cook for real, y'all. We make misses. We make misses. All right. There, those knives right there, let them set. They're all rinsed off. The thing I do not like having knives set with stuff on them. Oops, I didn't close. Because it just makes it that much harder to clean. So that's not something I want to deal with. All righty, so potato salad. Let's get our potatoes out. Now, depending upon how small you cut your potatoes, is going to determine how done they are. Some of these potatoes are pretty small. So let me show you something. See this little nub right here? That little nub right there on the end of that lid? I know y'all can't see it over here, but it actually fits in the top of the multi-cooker. So you don't have to worry about where am I going to put this hot lid. It fits right there. You can see it right here. It just stands up. It's awesome. I'm going to take my little mini mitts and we're going to take our basket out. And there's our potatoes. I think I'm going to need the bigger bowl. Ooh. Wowzer. I think so. All right. So we use our bigger bowl and we are going to make our dressing for a salad. Now, we would normally use mayonnaise since we don't do mayonnaise. I have a cashew silken tofu concoction that is a good substitute for those of us who are whole food plant-based or at the very minimal vegan. Okay. Yeah. Whole food plant-based is the next step up from vegan. So it's, yeah, it's, oh, you're vegan. No, it's even worse. So we try to do minimally processed as much as possible. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and cut up some celery. Another knife out, and I have my celery. We're going to have celery and some green onions, and these I just picked out of our farm stand out here that we grow hydroponic veggies and flowers. My celery is on its last legs. I'll get some more this weekend. We go through a lot of celery, and I don't ever throw these out. Seriously, hang on to these, put them in your scrap bowl, and then put them in a freezer bag, stow them in the freezer, and when your bag is full, you've got everything that you need to make an amazingly yummy veggie broth. Homemade. You have no preservatives, no chemicals. If you're low sodium, you control the sodium, you control everything about it. It makes it all the better for you and your family. All right, so we have 2 stalks of celery, and I'm going to go ahead and cut those up into a dice. You can slice them if you prefer. I like them. I like diced. I don't, just thing. I don't know. So we're gonna go ahead and just dice these up. Look at that little piece right there. This just wants to go sideways. Make sure you use your claw grip. Here we go. Okay, this is one of our knives from our knife collection, our knife blocker forged cutlery. And love it. Absolutely love it. It is amazing. So nice. It's got a really good balance to it. It's full tang all the way through. So you don't have this piece of metal sticking into this wood handle and that's all it's held by. It's all the way through. Absolutely. And wickedly, wickedly, wickedly sharp. All right, so we have our, let's see. I want to make sure I do this right. Okay, so our dressing, we're just gonna go ahead and put everything in the bowl and that's, holy moly. Then we'll add everything together. Normally you would take these, you put them in the freezer for about 10 minutes to chill them. I'm gonna go ahead and cut up the onions. I think I might do that. I think I might put it because they're wicked hot. So I'm gonna put those on a sheet pan. I like that idea. I'm gonna use our modular sheet pan. This is our large modular sheet pan. And it comes with 2 babies that I keep in the air fryer. It's perfect in that. I put a piece of parchment paper in there. That down the bottom. So I'm gonna take these and put them right on my parchment. Melt the dia. Oh yeah, those are wicked done. Some of them are a little slow. And they're hot. Hot, hot, hot. All right, so we're gonna put those in the bottom of the freezer for just a few minutes. 10 minutes and should be good. Ta-da. So go ahead and finish the dressing. And we'll be good. Got a few raggedy bits here I'm gonna take off. There we go. Again, everything in the garbage bowl. These are some really, really long green onions. I'm gonna cut these tips off just a tad, make it a little easier. May not use all of it. Probably like spring onions. I'm not a super, super, super big fan, but I can do a little bit. Cut them really, really thin. And they roll everywhere. Like cutting chives, you know, when you chop chives, they just go everywhere. So the other thing that you could do is you could actually put those into the manual food processor and you could just chop them up. It would be so easy. Or use a food chopper. Just cut them up into smaller or into bigger chunks and use the food chopper and chop them up and just pulverize. I should put some of these on his salad. I think I will. He will like that. Because it doesn't have any onion, so he would like that. Yeah, it's good. All righty. That's a little more than I like, but you know, hey, I'll deal with it. All right, so I'm gonna get this salad back up because I think he's gonna like that. This is a little green onions. Might take some with me in a moment. Who knows? All right, so there we go. Oh yeah, that's right up his alley. All right, close that, pop that back in the fridge. And continue on with our dressing. So all of this is going to go into our dressing, all of our celery, our onions. Okay, and I'm gonna do some black pepper. before I add the mayo, faux mayo. All right, so it calls for about a quarter of a teaspoon, which for our grinder is about 5 or 6, maybe 7. There we go. All right, and it's calling for a half a cup of mayo. Now, like I said, this is not white mayo, it's a little bit, it's close. I mean, it has the same texture as you can see. It has a very similar flavor. Not quite the same, but close. So we're gonna put that in there. It is actually made with soaking tofu and cashews, Dijon mustard, lemon juice, and a little bit of black salt. Now the black salt is what gives it kind of an eggy flavor. Black salt is actually pink. It looks like a Himalayan sea salt, so if you didn't know the difference, you wouldn't until you tasted it. And it's very definitely eggy. All right, so there's that. Not bad. A little sweet. Oh yeah, it also has it uses maple syrup to kind of cut some of the tofu taste. All right, and we need a little bit of distilled white vinegar. We're going to use 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. And 2. And I'm just going to stir that in. Okay, so there's our dressing for our tiger salad. Oh, Dijon, forgot the Dijon. Ooh, I knew there was something missing. I'm looking at it, I'm like, doesn't look right. So it's going to call for about a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. I'm just going to eyeball that. There we go. Oh, that's better. I can see it already. There we go. All right, so our potatoes are continuing to cool in the freezer. So while that's happening, let me fill the heater, this back. Celery back in, my last vestiges of my head of celery. Now, you can add other seasonings to that potato salad. Obviously, you can add whatever you want. If you prefer, like some people like cayenne, paprika, you know, whatever you like, go for it. Have fun with it. It's just make it you. That's the important thing. Just make it you. All right, need to wipe up that little bit of spill there. That everything taco seasoning is so very yummy. Like I said, I used it on popcorn. I used it on potatoes. Okay, smashed potatoes. We like taking potatoes and steaming them, and then putting them on our deluxe electric grill and griddle and smashing them, and then topping them with different seasonings and things. And it's really, really good with the taco seasoning. Okay, again, rinsing those knives right away so nothing sticks. Set those aside and we'll hand wash those very shortly. All right, so let's go with my bonus recipe. This is our last one. And hopefully our potatoes will be ready. I can take them out and we'll put that together. All right, so I'm going to do the lemon. It's called lemon ginger cucumber water. Now it's an infused water and it's so easy to do at home. I know I drink a lot of water. I mean a lot of water. I love water. Didn't used to when I was a kid, couldn't hardly get me to drink water, but now I love it and I can't stand buying a bottle of water if I don't have to. And sometimes it's nice to have just a flavor, you know, just something different. So tonight I'm going to put together some lemon ginger cucumber mint water. So I've got my mint sprigs with a few leaves. It smells so good that I'm going to put in there. We've got some sliced ginger. Now I will tell you, I freeze my ginger. I buy the whole, I'm not going to use that much at one time. So I freeze it. Then when I need it, I just shave bits off. Now, if you buy organic, you don't have to peel it. Just wash it and use it. You're good to go. But if you're not sure if it's organic or not, peel it. Definitely peel it. Wash it, peel it, and then you can chop it up. I've actually chopped it up and froze it that way, but I find that it's really hard to get apart. So I just go ahead and freeze it whole and then shave it off. So this is starting to thaw out a little bit, so it's a little bendy. It does not feel the same texture as it did when it was raw. So don't let that fool you. And I'm going to use my my mix and stir pitcher. Now, this one is or quick stir pitcher. This is the small one. Okay, there's a family size one too. It's really big. So this is going to hold about 2 quarts. It has measurements on the side as well. What I like about this is the plunger has got the square grid and it fits pretty well. Some things will come up the top, but it has a plate on the lip where you can turn that. You can close it off completely. You can turn it to strain. Now I can't do it because my hands are tired. You can turn it to strain. So it's got, get anything behind it that's dark so you can see it. It's got this kind of pronged side, and then it's got a completely open side. You turn this and it just goes completely open, so you don't have to worry about straining anything. So you've got 3 different ways that you can pour from this pitcher. I'm going to go ahead and turn it to the strain mode because I know that I'm going to probably end up with a lemon or a hunk of ginger in there too. So we have a cucumber and we need to get some slices off that. So I'm going to take, the recipe calls for 2 inches of cucumber and I'm going to use my cup slicer. I love this little cup slicer. This is something new that we came out with and it is just so awesome. Let me get my other knife, utility knife, and off. About 2 inches. I'll get this going to fit in there. Okay, so yeah, it's a little bit big. I love cucumbers. So the cup slicer has the blades in the bottom. They go side to side. It's got a little handle. And then you have the base. So the base is great for storage because it also keeps those blades from being exposed. But it also pushes everything up when you're done slicing. So we're going to put this right on. Okay, and I'm going to just slice my cucumber. So you see it doesn't slice all the way through because you need to put it on the base, press down, and there you have your slices. Okay, easy, easy peasy. This is fantastic for strawberries, for grapes, mushrooms, and kids love it. So if you've got young kids that are just starting to help out in the kitchen, this is perfect. So grab this and let them actually help chop up some of those veggies. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more side of cucumbers. So we're going to do it again. So I'm just going to put this right on top, slice down, and put it on the base, pop them all up, and dump them in. Easy peasy. What a way to make a quick fruit salad. Pineapple, strawberries, all kinds of apples, peaches, whatever you want to use. So an easy way to do it. And then I'm going to take my ginger. This is about a little over an inch of sliced ginger. I'm going to dump that in the bottom. I'm also going to use my mint. And I'm going to leave those sprigs. It's already been rinsed. It's kind of limpy. I'm going to put them right in the bottom because I really don't want to get the leaves right up into the rest of the chamber. Okay. So we have, I need my lemon. I need lemon. Okay, so I have fresh lemon and I'm just going to go ahead and take a few slices. I need to sharpen this knife. There we go. 2, 3. You can seed the lemon too if you want to before you do this. That's up to you. I'm not worried about it. You can pick them out. It's not a big deal. You can also use the simple slicer to slice the lemons or cucumbers. That would work just as well too. Okay, save those bits because honestly, put that in your veggie broth. Lemon in your veggie broth is amazing. Okay, so now we're pouring our water. Like I said, this is gonna make about 2 quarts. I don't know if I have enough water in my pitcher, but we'll give it a go. Oh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Look at that. Look at that. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and put our plunger on and just down. Let it come back up, push down again. And you need to mix it. And you're gonna have leaves and little bits are gonna get around the plunger, but that's okay. It's not gonna hurt anything. You're gonna strain it out. There you go. Okay, now you can let that set and infuse and enjoy some really yummy, yummy, yummy water. Okay, so get that out of the way. Let's finish off our salad. It hasn't been quite 10 minutes, but hopefully it's a little cooler. And the single layer helps. Anytime you put something in the freezer that you want to chill so that you can do other things with it, you want to try to make sure that it's in a single layer. It's going to have a lot more air or a lot more surface air. Push the air. Get that right. Okay, much better. Much better. Right. So we're going to take this and we're going to pop it right in there. That's why I did the parchment. That way I can just lift it up and dump it right in there. Okay. Set that aside. And I'm going to stir it. And that is how easy it is to make a potato salad. And without heating up the whole kitchen, you know, with boiling water and cooking the potatoes and everything else. Now, the other thing that you could do too, if you really wanted to add a little bit more flavor, is once these potatoes are partially steamed, take them and if you don't mind heating up your oven or the air fryer, pop them in there just to give them a little roast and then make your potato salad would be absolutely amazing. Freezer. There we go. So there is our yummy potato salad. Here, our awesome infused water. And our super, super yummy 7-ish layer dip or salad, whichever you want to call it. So it makes a great lunch. I'll tell you that right now. All right, everybody, that's it. I will post the recipes in our group so that anybody who wants them can have them. And I will see you all later. All right, have a great one. Let me know if you have any questions and I'll answer them as soon as I can. All right, have a great one, guys. Bye-bye.